The Division podcast / initial thoughts video. I'd say the game is pretty dope. Thank you for tuning in. So this is the Division initial thoughts, my initial thoughts, and I'm here joined by and some guy that's asleep right now, so he's irrelevant. So too baked out of his mind. All right, so we're gonna sit here. We are level 14s and 13s, and we're about halfway through the story or whatever, and we're doing all the shit through the game, and there's so much in this game, and I'm blown away by how much I'm actually digging this story. So let's start off with the story. Hero, what was your thoughts on the initial first part of the story with the tutorial and then the missions we did in the beta?
Now entering a safe area.
And see, that's why I brought it up, is because we came from the start of the game, we're all kind of like, meh, to the point where now we're like, yo, this is shaping up to be good.
Hello, Agent. I expect we'll be working together a good bit. I'll be sending along any intelligence I receive in this area, but I really must
Stone.
Warning. Now leaving the safe area.
Yeah, I'll give credit. Well, we're doing it on hard mode. I should throw that caveat in, and I'll give major credit to Storm, though. He forced us to do it on hard, and it makes it a lot more funner, and it makes it way more tactical. And man, did this game's PvE just become a tactical fest in the harder missions and stuff. And
Warning. Hostile presence detected.
And so I was, there's that, and I'm kind of baked right now. What I was gonna say. So the story. So my caveats I was throwing out is that the story seems kind of fine. The missions and dialogue. My biggest worry about going into this game is that it was going to be some type of generic storyline shit where it was going to pull like a Destiny and just not be too risque. But I didn't want it to be an over-the-top game like GTA or Borderlands. But I wanted some type of combo, and I think they nailed it. I described it best earlier. I think, in my opinion, it's basically what the Purge should be without all the cliches and bullshit. And man, it has dark tones in it. It has what seems to be real characters with real rounded personalities and stuff, and mixed in, and it fucking flows and it feels right. And they added a bunch of dark shit in, like the found footage clips of like people getting killed and shit. It's just fucks with you, man. It's really done well. No, I think the synergy of the story is really well. Halfway through. Oh, and then they were talking about fighting the AI. So far, I think the AI is really good. It didn't do that stupid shit Destiny did where it keeps the AI on a string and like they can't go so far. Like the AI will literally fuck you in your ass in your spawn point. And I like it. It's different. It's definitely a change of pace. I like that design. And so I prefer this over that stringy bullshit they did. Oh! Yeah, we walked into a group of the Rikers dudes fighting some dudes from some Flame dudes, or maybe Riders. Either way, they were doing a gun deal. And you go in, and they just don't even give two fucks about you. They're more worried about killing the assholes that are screwing them over out of their guns. I was like, this is fucking dope. So I was just blown away by they took the Borderlands approach where the AI everybody's kind of treated equally, opposed to that stupid Destiny shit where the moment you show up you're getting double teamed. That was a big bonus.
Secure.
But here I'll show you the scope of the game so far. Like there's just so much shit to do. So you have your general story missions and shit, and you get bonuses to rank up each wing, and that's how you get different the skills and stuff. Which is just, what are you guys' thoughts on the depth as far as skills and shit, skills, talents, and perks? This amount of depth puts Destiny to shame. Yeah, the closest thing I've came to as far as like DPS and stuff is Borderlands was really stat heavy for if you were a tryhard, and there was a lot of shit you could do like that. But this game takes it towards like Skyrim level type creativity, and I assume, well, how does this compare to Fallout's Hero? As somebody who played Fallout. Stoned. Yeah. Yeah. Because that was something... Oh. The integrated matchmaking. Well, you didn't miss out that from Destiny. That shit was in that game. Yeah, in moments like that, and then in the Darkness Zone, and you just see other people going about the game, but they're interactable. Like you can interact. That was one of the big knocks on on Destiny's Patrol, is that you're like, oh, there's somebody grinding, cool. There's nothing you could do to that guy other than wave. This game, it's like, oh, look, there's somebody. Tension builds, and we haven't been super into the Darkness Zone yet. But I assume it's gonna be fucking great, like it was in the beta and all our theories.
Readings indicate an echo nearby.
It's an evacuation order, sir. You remain here at your own risk.
We worked our asses off for you and you're leaving?
Sir, you need to move.
Warning. Hostile presence detected. GTF reinforcements requested. Warning. Hostile forces approaching.
So for our first basically 24-hour of the stint, everybody's loving it and plans on like nobody regrets purchasing it, right? Right. And then Hero doesn't regret skipping school to come play this.
Warning. Hostile forces approaching.
Well, I'll say. I'm gonna say the endgame content remains to be a big question. I think for what it is for this game is so fucking full of content at the main chunk of the game that it's just like if you buy it just for that alone, I think you'll get your money's worth. This is a extremely robust, solid, just chunk of the main part of the game, and I think that like, this is.
Warning. Hostile forces approaching. Warning. Hostile forces approaching.
And then speaking on the endgame content and shit, there is their DLC plan, which looks to be really fucking good. I've said in a previous vid that I love the way they're doing it by offering the first two ones for free. And then it's basically just, hey, if you're enjoying the game up to here, you want some more DLC, just pay a little bit, get back to the game. I like the way they're doing it. Like, there is nothing to this game yet that's pissed me off or even rubbed me the wrong way yet. Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing that makes me a little questionable is what the fuck is Ubisoft doing, man? Why did they not throw a $1 billion, all their money into this? This game has exceeded expectations. Like when this thing launched, it was more played than Black Ops 3 on Expo, and I haven't checked recently. Like this game is fucking huge, man. Like it's gonna sell a shit ton. It's gonna make a shit ton of money.
You're doing that hero thing, you hear me?
They made it confusing. They started listing times and dates and shit, and it was just like, all you had to say was servers don't go live until game goes live. Like, that's all you had to do, and they made it all complicated. And it was just, I wasn't confused by it. It was just like, it seemed a little like, just, I didn't like the way they fucking framed it. Like, oh, if PC goes live here at this, like, it was really weird. Like, they just didn't give a broad general answer. It was just weird. They made it seem overly complicated. I understand why they did it. They're like, oh, we don't want reviewers to come in and say, oh, this game is blah, blah, blah for this reason. And, like, they're like, oh, but all your time spent into the game was before the fucking, the game was filled with all the people that are going to play the game. And so they wouldn't get a fair representation of the game. I get why they did it, and I appreciate that. I wish more developers did that for, like, a multiplayer game. Did you want to farm for, or did you want to go do encounters, or did you want to go to the dark zone? It's up to y'all. Or we can rank up our wings. It's up to y'all. Yeah. It's a screaming demon. Seeming. But let me see if I have just any questions for you guys since that I've been noticing. Bullet sponginess for the enemies. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I come from Borderlands, bruh. Like, that's not my issue. I was just wondering what are your guys' thoughts on it. I mean, you guys just don't care? It's not a factor? I will say that this story, like, the way it plays out has me excited for any type of endgame tactical PvE content. Like, that shit was when me, you, Hero, and your dude Zeke did that mission, the one with the power supply turning it back on. That was fucking nasty fun, man. I loved it.
There's another one. Get up.
Oh. Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, Bootlegger showed me a video in PvP. This guy will 3v1 some little kids because he used the sniper and his trigger, the pulse at the right time, mopped them. It was insane. Like, if you do a certain loadout with snipers, it's just insane. Your DPS is so high.
I thought you were helping us.
Active echo beacon detected.
Well, hey, let me play this real quick, and then I want to ask your guys' opinion on the depth of like side story, backstory, lore type stuff in this game.
Come on, you know me for years. This coughing. You know I have asthma. Look, here's my inhaler. Please don't. Don't. Ah!
Damn. Okay, so what do you? What? He lag out? His connection is BS0 connection. Well, Storm, what are your thoughts on the amount of Intel backstory shit with the field data and all the collectible stuff?
I think it's filler content. It's like any other game. It needs to have some type of shit to do whenever the main missions are done.
Oh.
So I'm running into the same problem with Tomb Raider. There's a lot of filler content, and I'm just not interested.
You don't like filler content like that?
I mean, once the main story's over, I don't care what you call it or how you polish it. It's still what it is. It's filler content, and I'm not really interested.
I mean, I like it. I like the all the backstory stuff and echoes.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But
I like the way they present the filler content. It seems to be interesting. I don't know. It's
it's like Tomb Raider, where you randomly find, diaries and it'll tell you a story by finding a diary, in the open world or a tape recording of something, and it's just like it's telling you the story, and it's kind of a lazy way to tell you a story, I like the way that this, this game has done it. It's very clever the way they've married all the elements in the game.
this dude. So I guess I'll get your opinion. So this dude on my YouTube channel. So the backstory is some dude came to my shit and started promoting his YouTube channel, and this dude posted on my video because after I talked some shit on his channel, we had a back and forth, and his fanboys come and spammed my channel with dislikes. This dude commented, because of Gangster and 7, I removed all of my videos. You're welcome. Now stop prank calling my house and posting my phone number on Craigslist. Well, that's fucking hilarious. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, I did not post it. I don't. I like I tell everybody.
I will not confirm nor deny.
My I know. My extent of technology is a Xbox One is probably my most powerful piece of hardware in my apartment. So no, I don't have the type of resources to find out someone's phone number, IP address, where they live, any of this shit at all. So no, this is not true. I don't have these type of resources. He did delete his videos, but I think he deleted them because this dude was a fucking view botter. His Instagram had like 1,000 followers, and he had never posted once on his Instagram. So, and I did a research, and there's a website you can check to see if someone's Twitter account is real or fake with all of his followers, and 10% of his followers on his Twitter account were real. The rest were all fake. So 90% of the people following him on Twitter were fake. So yeah, look at that fog effect. What's your thought on these graphics, Storm?
They changed a bunch of shit. They changed a bunch of shit. They did some patching from the beta, polishing, and I'm impressed that a game like this works.
It runs and works so fucking smooth.
Yeah.
Like for 30 frames per second, I don't think I've noticed too many. I've noticed we've had some like frame just completely shattering drops, but outside of that,
where you think you're gonna freeze, but you don't.
I chalked that up.
I'm surprised the game hasn't crashed. Like, but for the
outside
first
of that
time when we started
server
it up,
issue,
yeah,
that was more servers than game. The game, man. There's only like the only minor flaws are I think. It seems like Ubisoft went cheap on the servers again, like they do in Rainbow Six, and then there's still that occasional glitch where some guy's character is facing the ground while shooting at you. Outside of that, man, I don't think there's anything else.
All right, I'm gonna bring up a point, and I just thought of it. I had a Talora, and I'm sure the people that are listening don't know who the hell Talora is, but Talora is a good friend of mine. We've had a lot of heated conversations and arguments about different games and shit. And I respect his opinion on games because he plays all genre of games and he's been gaming for years. He knows, back in Atari days, right? So we had a conversation where he was picking apart games, and I'm like, what game have you ever played that was perfect on launch. You tell me a game that you've ever played, like, and I stumped him. He couldn't think of a game that ever was just released and was perfect. You had no problems with it. It ran smooth, and I think from playing this game, I actually have created a scenario that I never thought would happen. This is a perfect game, other than the minor little hiccups here and there. I think there was like a few moments where some stuff wasn't saving.
You mean
but that
perfect
was just
game
the
at
way
release or perfect game just in quality?
at release.
Okay.
At release, meaning graphics, playability, you know,
What was wrong with Star Wars
content.
Battlefront's release?
I don't know, playing the same 4 fucking maps over and over again, playing the same
Okay, I
4
guess
maps
that is a
in
valid
20
point.
minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the point. So after the first hour of game, you're like, oh, I've done everything.
Forces approaching.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm trying to think. What about Black Ops 3's launch? You didn't get it, but I don't really remember any issues. Granted, I didn't play the multiplayer sucked of that game though, so I don't know if that counts as an issue.
Yeah, you can't really count zombies because zombies has always ran pretty decent, other than the minor lag depending on the host. I mean, I like the cover-based shooter aspect of this game too.
I was gonna say, Level
it
Cap
more
brought up that it's
squad-oriented.
third person again. I personally don't fucking care. I was gonna say, even Grand Theft Auto and Star Wars Battlefront were the first games I've ever played third person, and Star Wars Battlefront was the first time I've ever played a shooter like this. So I've never had any third person experience. I didn't play Gears. I didn't play any of these other games. I'm fine with it. I don't fucking care. And I was usually an FPS guy.
I'm not a fan of third-person shooters. I've already
First-
explained that to you. I've never liked third-person shooters.
I
But
feel impartial. Like I don't really care. It doesn't make a difference.
But
to me,
like
it
I
seems.
said, and I said this before when I was condemning games that were released that were RPGs and third-person shooters and shit. I said if there ever was a game that was released that caught my interest, I would never, turn away from it. I would definitely embrace a game that was good, and just so happened that they did. And I even admitted I was wrong about the game. Like, I immediately condemned the game. I put it down. I'm like, I'm not getting that game. I don't care what the fuck you tell me. Like, I don't like RPGs. I don't like loot and shoots. I don't like games that are based on a randomized system, and and then you get to a level, and then all of a sudden everything that you had is worth shit. But now, like, the system that they've done put so much into the game to make it not like that. Like, you can craft your own items. You can, like, I was using a level 6 M60 with decent DPS, decent damage, just decent fire rate up until I was level 11. Like, there's, you can get away with running with the same gun with the mods and you're building your character for DPS and health. You can run with the gun. Like, your gun skill really doesn't mean as much as how you build your character. And I think that that's something that anybody that's starting off with this game should pay attention to. Like, yes, guns are cool. Everybody likes guns. They like variety. They like, diversity. But the guns don't mean as much in this game as it does other shooters. What means a lot is how you actually build your individual character. Each attribute, each sub-level, each skill, talent, once you dig into the game and you see how deep it goes, you'll start to see exactly what it's all about. It's not about the gun game. I mean, obviously you gotta have gun skill, but that your gun damage is not gonna make a lot of difference if you're going against somebody who's built their character better than you.
Shoot that drone up there. Fuck, it's all
I don't
the way
see
up
it.
there. Directly above you. How to get up there. I will say that Destiny, it seemed like you were constantly through the grinding process, especially Borderlands. You lose guns after like 5 levels or whatever. This game kind of kept it smaller though. There's not like it's just you up to 30 in max level, so you can kind of stick with guns for for sure. Jesus Christ. I made sure not to kill a dog because I was streaming. This dude just goes, he's fucking psycho. I'm a little jealous. This dude. But I will say that, yeah, the way they made it so that you can buff your gun up other ways, so I assume that you using a lower gun does work. I don't know. I just RPG side in it to me is like, nah,
Well,
bro. I gotta
put it this
constantly
way,
use a new gun.
Put it this way, the damage the damage that I was putting out with the M60 was equivalent to any of the assault rifles. It was essentially an assault rifle with a 100 round clip, and I had the mods on it to make it better accuracy, and like I had it built so that it was essentially an assault rifle, but I was using LMG ammo. Like, that's what I tried to explain to people earlier on the launch when I was playing with other people that were lower levels. I told them that, you know, you don't just pick one or two guns that you like. You need to have a shotgun, an assault rifle, a sniper rifle. You have damn it. You have different ammo types. So
Yeah,
having,
I like that.
yeah, you know, having those weapons and being able to exchange, out, for short range engagements, having Jesus Christ, having a shotgun and a LMG setup, or having an LMG sniper rifle setup, you know what I mean, for long range and short range, having two primary weapons and then a sidearm and then, hey,
Shit.
another thing.
Damn it!
If you're in the ground,
Again, I don't know if that's
If
Hero
you-
or this game.
you can get the Magnum that does over 1,000 damage with a sidearm that has infinite ammo. So essentially, you can get strong sidearms in the game, and the sidearms do double damage if you're shooting at a target that has less than 30% health. So if you're good at switching to a sidearm, you can do double damage with an assault rifle. So that's 2,000. That's basically you're shooting a sniper rifle at your enemy. I think about it as a sidearm. So if your pistol's doing 1,000 damage, and it does double damage at targets that are 30% health or lower, you're shooting a sniper rifle round at them with a sidearm that has infinite ammo.
Oh wow.
And that's what I mean about depth. Like, that's something that is just like kind of, it's not something that you would normally pay attention to, but that's what I mean about different types of depth in the game. There's certain things that, if you pay attention to, you could exploit them.
Like, I'd say comparatively, it was like a specific build. Like in Borderlands, you could build certain characters to be certain, like they would just do one thing over the top really fucking insanely well. In this game, it's like you pointed out, it's not to that extreme or exaggerated, but you can do certain build that statistically are that exaggerated. Like the amount of DPS and health and other shit like you can build a character is gonna be insane. And
Well,
then with a full
put it
team,
this
if
way.
everybody's spec'd the right way, as
Yeah.
you keep saying, it's just gonna be insane.
Yeah. And I would rather, like, you could go against 4 other guys that have ridiculous amount of health that are going to have a lower DPS. We're going to have a balanced DPS, but we're going to have strike effects where we're going to be doing massive DPS. And then we're going to be able to shield and heal. And, where you, on the other hand, are just going to have high health, high DPS, high health, but we're going to be able to do massive amounts of DPS right away, targeting grenades, targeting incendiary rounds, and like there's so many different ways. Sniper rifle. There's so many different ways to build a squad if you're very deliberate about how you build your character individually. Like for instance, me and Hero have been building a build for being a medic, but we're not building it the same way, so that we each have an ability that doesn't conflict with each other, so that we don't have the same ability, so that we are doing a different task other than just healing.
Speaking
That
of Hero,
right there is
His internet died, by the
What the
way,
fuck?
so that's where he is. By the way.
Oh yeah. He probably just got off. How the fuck did you get where you're at?
Skill, bro. So, but
Contamination zone. I'm pretty sure I have that filter.
yeah, it's only I think 2, so yeah, you can get in here guaranteed. What else? What else is in this game? We got cover DPS. What are your thoughts on the guns, real quick? Because I know Hero earlier was saying how much he loved the look of the guns and stuff.
I think they accurately portrayed the guns right. I really like the spread of the weapons and how the LMGs, the longer you shoot them, the more accurate they are. I like the spread of the LMG or the submachine guns that have a medium spread no matter how much you shoot them, because they're spray weapons. They don't have a ridiculous range, but they're also balanced at medium range. I think the sniper rifles might be slightly overpowered, and that's just my opinion. I think that anything that's doing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 damage, and you know, we're not supposed to be doing that much damage right now. I mean, like if I was taking out level 12 enemies at level 7. Now, it was taking a lot of ammo, it was taking a lot of work, but I still managed to do it. If I could do that at a low level like that with a high damage gun with my build, like, it's kind of a little overpowered.
Were you on
essentially
normal
means I
mode
can
or hard
overpower
mode for that
Scan
mission?
completed.
I was on hard.
Data uploaded to JTF servers.
I was gonna say you couldn't do that shit in Borderlands, and I don't think you could do that in Destiny either. So
Yeah, they were double
there's a
my
chest
health
up here, a good
and
one.
double the. They were double my health and double my damage output. I mean, they were one-shotting me in the beginning, like immediately. We've happened to just somehow push through. I kept reviving people. We just, you know, in the end, everybody died, and I had to, you know, step back, snipe everything, you know, go get ammo, come back, snipe everything, headshots, dude, it just took a lot. It was a lot, but we managed to pull it off.
I hear something beeping. Oh, apparently it's I don't know, nothing. Oh, I don't like stuff that beeps. This game's all glitching out because Hero.
I got one good gun drop off of a box or whatnot, and I haven't had a good gun drop since.
I say that the loot from
there
the
are-
Darkness Zone was insane.
It was. It was in the beta too, and you know, there are some guns that you didn't see in the beta.
Yeah, they're still
But
adding
really-
guns. That's dope. Or
Yeah.
They still left some out, or
They left some out, I think, but I think they're gonna
we haven't
add
even seen
more.
the high-end guns yet.
But there's so many different variants that they could do with the guns. I mean, they have the damage models. They don't have to necessarily change much as far as like hip fire, spread. The only thing they might have to do is change sound, you know, work on the sound to make it accurate. I think that's one thing that they've kind of left out. I think the sound of the guns is kind of...
Oh, I was gonna say, so for the story missions, that was like a big thing for me that I worried about. I'm gonna fast travel to the cavern and then go to that mission encounter next to it. I'm gonna say after the beta, I was like, all right, so each story mission for me to love it needs to be like this massive mission each time. Like the second mission, like you go somewhere new that's different geographically, it's different color-wise, you know, or something like that. It just looks amazing. And then the enemies and boss fights are slightly different and shit. And they came through big time, man. These missions are really fucking good. They're not all generic. They don't feel like the same exact mission every time. Like that shit is just, is amazing. That was like the biggest problem with design for Destiny is like, you're like, oh, you go, you throw down Dinklebot, you defend him, next part. And that was what you did repeatedly. And in this, it's got enough variation to it for me that it is just solid. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but it's just good enough. I'm hoping to see what that excursion, or what is it, incursion, what they add, whatever that game mode's supposed to be, that they add.
Put it this way. Once we reach level cap, there's going to be more than enough content for us to run through. Because once we get everything set up the way we want to, and we have the tools to get everything set up the way we want it, to get our characters perfect, and then bounce around between abilities, unlock everything, test everything out. Like, we're just scratching the surface of what this game has and the potential, and where the real battle begins and where the real grind begins is in the dark zone with PvE and PvP. Once we see what the level cap holds in the the actual that's where you're gonna get the replayability. Now, I like that idea. Like, I like that idea. Like, okay, you have a game that's designed, and you even brought this up yourself, Aaron, where you say, okay, well, a game takes so much of its resources away from multiplayer to make a story campaign. So it kind of lacks on the multiplayer side. Well, what this game did is it focused so much on both being in the same mechanics that you needed to do the storyline mode to be strong enough and to be relevant for the PvE PvP, and it's all married together, so that you're, instead of just playing the multiplayer and then getting bored of the multiplayer and going playing the campaign, you're playing the full campaign, the full content all the way through, and then playing the multiplayer, or bouncing back and forth, going and finishing the story mode, coming back, doing, it's like I said, its marriage is so well and combined that there's a lot of content.
Yeah, they balanced them really well, the way you could do both, and it just works really good.
That's why I said when I had this conversation with you, like, I just foresee myself having, has a longevity feel to it. It just feels like a game that I could just play and play. And not to mention, you could also play on your own and do some of these missions. I mean, and then you can go back and do them hard, or you could do a matchmaking. That's another badass part to it. If you don't have people to play the game with or play the missions with, you could do the matchmaking. That's something that, that is not always featured in a game.
What else you got? Group management, intel, map, abilities, guns. I mean, is that about it for initial impressions? Anything else? Alright, so what are you looking forward to most over your next couple days of gameplay?
Getting some sleep so I can continue to play and actually function. Like, dude, I'm still not sleepy. Like, I stayed up. I woke up. Alright, I woke up at like 7 o'clock in the morning to take my kids to school. I've been up since then through the midnight release, and I'm still up 24 hours later playing the game. I got mad today because my wife wanted to take the kids to the park, and I wanted to play the game. I just wanted to play the game. I told you that. I was like, I'm gonna get mad when I can't play this game, dude.
I feel you. I'm gonna be mad when I have to go to work.
And here's just a testament. Right? I've got 300 friends on my Xbox. Right? Nobody plays the same games. It's always like a handful of people play this game, a handful of people play this game. There's over 70 people on my friends list and that's like my whole friend, that's an average of 90 people online at a time. That's almost my whole friends list playing this game. Now, I'm nobody. And that's everybody I fucking know.
Area secured. Hostiles neutralized.
This is Sparrow 2. We are on site and in position.
It just goes to show, like, everybody I talk to about the beta knows that, it was definitely worth it. Like, the beta was definitely, like, people were talking about the beta being, like, to be honest with you, some game developers would have released a game like that and said, "Hey, this is the full version of the game. Give me $60."
I don't know.
And that's the reality of it nowadays.
Yeah, I think your point of that it's a $60 game. It shines through, man. It's just so polished everywhere. Everything feels robust. It just feels extremely well thought out. This is one of the most well thought out games I've seen in a while. Like, oh, I always cringe when I say shit like this because I feel like I'm gonna eat my words. But man, it just feels like that so far, man. I just don't see any lack of judgment. Like, oh, what were they thinking yet?
Yeah.
Like, I know we're still in the moment and everything, but it just feels great.
It exceeded my expectations. Like, I didn't expect it to be this. Like, I knew it was gonna be more in depth than what I saw in the beta, but I didn't think it would go this deep, this many levels. I mean, we're talking about subcategories on everything, dude. You know, and everything has a purpose. That's what's fucking lovely. Every piece of loot that you pick up, every item that you pick up can and will eventually have a purpose. If you learn how to deconstruct it, you learn how to combine the items, you could eventually craft new items, craft new attachments, craft new articles of clothing. Like, it's just, I just can't imagine. Like, and that's end game content, really, because when you get to the grind where you need something and you can't find it, it would be easier to craft it because you've stacked up how many months of collecting items. You know, now you have everything you need to get what you need when you can't find it. Like, that's just genius, dude. I'm sorry. I don't give compliments out that easy. That's just an ingenious mechanic to put into a game.
I agree. I'm sold on the crafting system. It's just like a way to bypass the RNG to get shit, and I like it. And it gives you a second option, like I was saying. You can either sell the loot and hope a vendor sells it what you want, or you can, you know, dismantle it and then use the blueprints to get something. It's up to you how you do it.
Yeah, if the vendor is selling something that you want, you could sell your items to build up. And then the vendor also has a 24-hour rotation, so what you see, you know, and you know, it goes in rotation, so you might not see something. And every vendor is different as well. Every vendor is gonna have something different.
And then there was the amount of detail for mid-maxing and maxing out every stat value for everything you have is just insane right now, man. From re-rolling loot to getting special blueprints for special loot that has certain stats. It's just crazy, man. Like, it's definitely one of those games, if you're going to go for a perfection build, you're going to waste a lot of time doing it.
And mind you,
it's going to be cool.
This is shit that we just found out
Hours ago, yeah.
an hour ago. Like, I knew that the game was in depth, but I didn't know it went that far. Like, that, and that's how far it's gone, way beyond far. And like, when you talked about the re-rolling loot, like, that makes crafting items, like, you can craft the items, and then the items that you craft, you can re-roll and design them for what you want in each attribute in each subcategory. It's fucking crazy.
And also what the community ends up figuring out or thinking or coming up with too. That's always something cool, is the community will come up with certain builds for certain characters to be a certain way, and then you want to go and emulate it, and then that'll add more replay value. See what kind of cool shit people can come up with.
Some of the missions, though, I will say this, is intense. The combat sections are. Some of the complexity of the missions are kind of repetitive. Like, oh,
yeah.
Take this box, put it in here, hold off enemies. Take this box, walk it down to the end of the street, hold off enemies. Now, mind you, it's, you know, everything is intense, like the sound, the music comes on, and the voice comes in and says you're gonna have to hold off. They're gonna be pissed, this and that. Like, it definitely builds on your senses, and it's not like it has the drama in it, but it definitely does have kind of a repetitive
You shoot that
feel
drone.
to some of the
You
missions.
Get that thing.
I still don't see the drone.
Did something drop right here for you to pick up? 'Cause if not, you have
No.
to shoot that thing up there for it to drop. Chew it,
Really?
chew. That thing right there, yeah. It's just like, yeah. You shoot it, something will explode off of it. And you
Really?
pick it up. Yeah, man. Did you get it? Yeah. Stowed.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool.
So yeah.
How the
Well-
fuck did you know that?
It was in the beta. I shot one, discovered it. So I
You
was like,
just
fuck it.
leveled me up.
Well, I think that's
Now
gonna.
my level 13 shit ain't
Just-
worth nothing.
That's dope. I think that's where I'm gonna end this vid. We'll see if we get -3 views or not if we do another one. I don't know, man. Nobody fucking wants to partake in the podcast. But now that doing a podcast is as easy as fucking start up a Twitch stream, maybe they'll bring the podcast back. I don't fucking know. I don't know, Storm. I don't fucking know.
Wish I could get that party chat in my stream, man. Like, that's
I
what I
invited you, bro. I'm telling you, I don't think you know how to check your messages, dude. I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
What you mean? You look down your messages,
get
you don't have one from
notifications.
Xbox? No,
I
one of
get
them is from
notifications
Xbox?
on my phone when I get notifications on my phone when I get a message. I check my shit every day. I check to see if I got messages, who's online. It's the first thing I do. I don't think about game. Although Division, I'm gonna start that bitch right up. Fuck who's on. I'm just starting that shit up.